You know, I have a very different opinion on this actually. We keep saying female-oriented films are getting appreciated and films like these are working. But I don't feel that. I'll tell you why. Because there was a time when there was a film like Goody, which had a newcomer in the film. And it was about the girl. But the film did do well. People loved the film. So it's been happening for a very long time. The audience has been accepting it for a very long time. The point is, if you can entertain them, it doesn't matter whether it's a male-oriented film or it's a female-oriented film. So I think today, what I can say is that we have directors and we have filmmakers who are more exposed in the sense that they have traveled a lot more. There is a sense of, there's an individuality that every person is like these directors possess, and hence they are bringing something different to the table. Perhaps earlier, whatever was working was being done like it was getting multiplied. Today, that is also happening, but then again, we have some people who are making things which are slightly different and they are working.
Anu, I started with women-centric films. I started with gangster. I went on to do films like Wo Lamhe and fashion, you know, Tanuvets Manu. So I won't say that things have really changed.
Because you were already with a strong character.
Yeah, and once in a while, like once or twice in a year, you will get scripts where they have really important parts for women to play. But then depends on director's moods, you know, and what somebody would want to do at that point of time. But generally, I don't think that's if out of 300 or 400 films, you will only find 4 to 5 films where they have really important roles to, you know, play.
It's on the producers and on the audiences, because a producer produces films that he expects that the audience will watch, or is kind of sure that yes, this is the kind of film that it will be appreciated and it will be accepted. And of course, I think today the audience is just fantastic, because the kind of films that they accept and the kind of films that they're watching and the kind of films that are getting successful goes to show that today the youth in our country is ready for this kind of cinema. Because with every changing phase, like, you know, I always say that change is constant. The kid who watched Kuch Kuch Hota Hai when he was like 9 is no longer 9 years old. He's also grown from there. And an audience today that is probably 15 is not going to be 15 all his life. So I think that generation keeps changing, and there's a new kind of youth that comes into the picture and they are seeing different films.
I think it's a great time for us, for other actors who want to come into the industry, because I think now there is a plethora of opportunities. It wasn't there earlier. My dad also used to tell me ki, you know, the time that you've come in, it's a great time for you, because so many people are being given a chance to really explore their creativity and been given an opportunity to even make films to begin with. So for us to be a part of that, I think it's great. It's
but
fantastic.
are they writing better scripts for women?
Yeah,
are you seeing more meaty parts?
That is
Yes,
there, because
I think so.
At the
yes.
moment, there have been so many women-oriented roles, and they're doing really well. And they're making, it's not like they're doing well in just the multiplex. They're making money, they're showing numbers. So I think that's a big deal, and people are getting more and more restless. They cannot sit in the theatre if it's not, they're not engaged, if they're not feeling an emotion. If you don't get them from the beginning, then you don't get them at all. I think it's really a great time for all of us to just experiment and put ourselves out there.
We get to see different movies now, different kind of characters. And even the filmmakers are willing to take chances, and they are coming forward to do something different. So that is really a good change in the industry.
Do you think it's a better space now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think so.
I think there's some great parts being written, especially for girls, I mean, which weren't being written. And, you know, somehow I feel as being an actress, I don't have to be apologetic. I don't have to make a choice about either looking pretty or being able to act. One can do both. And I think, you know, that's a sign of good change, I guess.